you'll see. I peep the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator, but I can't save it. It'll be too loud on the pedal stool. Don't curry favors. Always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patience run thin, yeah, nigga OT, cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. Say I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep it G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't music sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm stacking green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king with chasing my dream. These niggas it seems I rip them, trash them, then put on new jeans. Man, see the problem is, man, you know, I keep it 100, man. Yeah, man, like if I got it, then you got it. Yeah, man, but if I don't got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo. I'm really getting tired of it.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, what's up, family? Welcome to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. Today, I'm your host, Brother Mike, along with my awesome team member, Miss Samantha, Glam by Sam Dennis. How you doing today, Miss Dennis?
I'm great.
It's good to have you back in the hot seat.
I know.
Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. So, all right, so we want to welcome everybody to today's show. On today's show, we are going to be going over entrepreneurship. You know, what it means to be an entrepreneur. What is entrepreneurship? How do you become one? You know what I mean? Things of that nature. And we think this is great information for those who might be, you know, kind of straddling the fence if you want to get into the entrepreneur world, find out what it's all about. So during our last show, when we did the 13 ways you could practice group economics, number 13 was entrepreneurship and financial literacy. So I had promised that we would come back on the following show and touch on entrepreneurship. So probably next show we'll do financial literacy because it was number 13, you know, and it's a very important one, you know what I mean, with group economics, right? So that's why we're going to do entrepreneurship today. So we're kind of excited about today's show. But, you know what I mean, it's right up our alley, right? But before we get into that, we got to do our plugs. So make sure you guys check out blackbythemand.com. Remember, buy is spelled B-U-Y. Black is for the people. Buy is how we practice group economics. The man is for change. So the brand is all about promoting, practicing, and encouraging group economics. We have apparel. We have T-shirts. We have hoodies. You can practice group economics and buy a piece of apparel that you can be proud of. And also for those who want to join our crowdfunding, you know, to help the Black by the Man team out, you know, with a lot of the expenses that it takes to keep the brand going, keep the radio show going. You can join us at patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD, and you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, and that will help out with everything that we do to keep the oil gears oiled for this machine that we are trying to keep running. And also on today's show, I'm going to try to give away a couple free tickets to Eat Black Baltimore coming up on September 28th. And that is sponsored by Black Professional Men, Inc., also known as BPM. So this is an event that showcases chefs in the Baltimore metropolitan area. So we thought we'd give away a couple tickets today. So we're going to let you guys know a little bit more about that as we move on with the show. And yeah, right, that'll be good, right?
Good time.
And for those who are, you know, chefs or cooks, you know, this is definitely an event you want to be able to be a vendor at so you can showcase your talent, sell your food, get involved with a great networking community of black people who believe in group economics and trying to make things better for the community.
Right.
You know, so that's a good thing. So we want you to be vendors. We want you to win tickets. And for those who don't win tickets, tickets will still be available. You can contact myself either through the Facebook and social media pages or at Black by Demand, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. So that's Black by Demand 4U at gmail.com. But now we got to get into current events. So while Miss Samantha Glam by Sam taps into current events, I'm going to try to send out some invites so you guys can hang out with us today and get a hold of this great information we're going to deliver. So what we got going on in current events?
Of course, the hottest thing popping right now is
the chicken.
We are going crazy with the chicken sandwich, and I don't know why.
Woo! I tell you.
Why is it such a big deal?
I'm gonna tell you what Dave Chappelle said. Everybody knows that black folks and chickens are mighty fond of each other.
Well, apparently so, because coming home from work on Friday, I drove by like the one that's near Woodbridge.
Okay.
And the drive-through line was wrapped around the building. I just could not understand
Right.
the way people are just going so hard for this sandwich.
And why can't we support black businesses?
And that's a lot of what's, like, there's...
social media is
flip
erupting
side.
on that, right?
Right, that's the flip side to it, because they blew that sandwich up within, like, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
$24 million worth of free advertisement.
If we went so hard for Popeyes, why can't we do this for each other?
That's right. Go hard for black by demand, right?
Right. There's plenty of other places that we could be, giving our money to and supporting on that kind of level, and it's just ridiculous how hard we're going.
Yes, it is. Very disappointing to see the fights.
Yes.
That's been happening. Shout out to my people. I love my people, but we got to do better. You know what I'm saying?
Please
we got to do better. And again, I don't want to pick on the sisters, but based on the social media evidence, seems to be a lot of sisters out here willing to fight over chickens.
That's embarrassing. Please stop.
Please stop. Please stop. It's a sandwich.
Right.
And they, with all these hype behind it, they probably poisoned it.
Right.
Everybody be sick in 5 years. Like, stop falling for this stuff.
I just don't understand why it's such a big thing, but
Right, a chicken sandwich.
But rolling into my next current event, still piggybacking off of the Popeye sandwich, there was a teen in North Carolina who saw that people were out for this sandwich, and he took that as an opportunity to get people registered to vote. So
Nice.
Commend him for that.
Nice.
17-year-old David Ledbetter is going around trying to get people registered to vote so that they can vote in the upcoming election.
Right.
So I mean, we're
That's
not supporting
actually
of the chicken.
right.
We're supporting of what he's trying to do because
What
of
he
that.
did was group economics.
Yeah.
It's a shame he had to take advantage of a chicken line. You know what I mean, to reach people. But hey, whatever works, right? Whatever works. Yeah, that is a brilliant idea because
that was smart.
Right, that's almost like showing up at church. You know what I mean, to get your message across.
Right.
It's a gathering point for the black community. It's unfortunate that Popeyes was that gathering point for this occasion, but at least somebody spun something positive. You got to get it how you live it,
and do it. But
that's what's up.
To get people registered while they were out there, and it's good that he gets recognized for that.
Right. Yes. Big up to you. You get a bell for that, young man.
And what else did we talk about? Oh, let's talk about the Jay-Z NFL deal, because
Oh yeah. We spoke on it a little bit last week, but come on, let's get with it.
I'm not sure why it's becoming such like a. People are really bashing him over this deal, and saying that he's I guess stepping over Kaepernick and not being respectful. I'm not sure.
It's a lack of understanding of business, and I think a lot of us don't understand how the game works. This is a game being played in this world. Like Jay-Z said, it was never about Cap having a job. Cap got endorsements for Nike for over $6 million. That's just one of them. He's not someone that's strapped for a job.
Right.
But I think what Jay-Z's attempting to do is penetrate the good old boys club. Sometimes you can't build your own clock.
Right.
Because everybody that you need the components to build your clock is owned by someone else.
Right.
So sometimes you have to be a part of someone else's clock. Maybe sneak in the back door, and then once you get in there, you start changing the cogs around a little bit to make the clock tick a little faster for you.
Right.
So, that's my analogy, what I think Jay-Z's trying to do. Yeah, Trojan horse type thing.
Yeah.
But we lack such knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we don't understand, certain power moves that people do. But what I say is this. Jay-Z's a billionaire.
Right.
Neither you nor I or anyone else is in a position to question the moves of a man who's made enough moves to make himself a billionaire.
True.
Who are we to say he made the wrong move?
Right.
That's just insane. And I think it's unfair that Jay-Z has done so many positive things within the black community. Like, we was all on his tip when he was freeing Meek Mill and all that stuff, so the first time he does something that we don't have a complete understanding on, or some of us don't like, we're ready to label him as a Sambo and throw him under the bus, and he sold us out.
Isn't the whole purpose of him getting involved with the NFL is to initiate that change that everybody's looking for? And
that's what I thought. That's what I
I'm not
thought.
understanding why he's getting all this backlash from it, but
That's what I thought. It's insanity, you know. But again, to me, it's just a lack of education.
Yeah.
We don't understand things. Now, a personal pet peeve of mine in regards to that is that it really bothers me that in so many situations, especially social situations, a lot of us have nothing to say.
Right.
We're quiet until a black person does step up
Right.
and have something to say. And then all of a sudden, here comes the rest of us
Now you
judging
got a lot
how
to
that
say.
person's doing it, right?
Right.
He ain't doing it right. You know what I mean? He did it wrong, this, that, and the third. And it's like, but wait a minute, you didn't have no opinion on it before that. You
Right.
weren't doing anything, right? And now you judge and jury. So I
Yeah.
think we got to grow in those areas as well. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, my final perspective is that we have to wait to see how it pans out.
Yeah.
You know, like Dr. Boyce Watkins said, we don't even know what Jay-Z's full involvement with the NFL is. When the word went on social media that he had bought the Nets, and we was all proud of him, according to Dr. Boyce Watkins, he was like, Jay-Z only owned 1/15 of 1% of the Nets. But look how we was, you know what I mean? Jay-Z owns the Nets, you know what I mean? He's like, he didn't even own 1%, you know what I mean? He didn't even own half of 1%, you know? So, you know, it's just interesting to watch the reactions, but I hope we can all grow and learn from this. And like I said on the previous show, a lot of times change comes through revolution, you know, and through revolution, it can be an act of war or just simply an act that someone does that people don't understand. When Roosevelt first created Social Security, everybody in society was against it. Now look at Social Security. People would give their left arm to keep their Social Security.
Right.
But at the time that he proposed it, they was like, it's socialism, you know, like he was doing this horrible thing. So I think we have to wait it
A
out.
lack of understanding.
It's definitely a lack of understanding and a lack of patience to even wait to get the understanding. You know what I mean? We just jump straight to, insulting each other,
Right.
you know, and it's unfortunate that we love to do that. We love to get on camera and social media and go against what other black people are doing. And I say unto thee, stop it right now. Let it go. Let that man do what he do. Look, I told him on the last show, and I'll say it again. You let Jay-Z call me up and tell me I need to be at one of them NFL meetings. I'm going to be right there with my hand up. Ooh, I have a question. I'll be right there. Because I know that man know how to make millions and billions of
Right.
dollars. You know, everybody is tripping, man. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
That at least affords him the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. I mean, when you a billionaire, we really shouldn't question nothing he does, for real. Unless it's just flat out criminal.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy and criminal. But why would I question a billionaire? Like, come on. You know, this dude is done some really awesome things within the black community, and he has stretched out his arm and shown his power. You know, like the Meek Mill case, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people that's trying to put this man in jail.
Right.
And Jay-Z is who took care of that with his connections, with his money. But again, we don't ever look at none of that. It's just all about, I'm unhappy with what he did, instead of trying to get educated on what his angle is, what the possible outcome could be, you know, and things of that nature. And we just simply don't do it. We don't do it. But thanks to the Black Body Man radio show, we're going to keep learning. We're
That's
going
all
to keep
we can
learning.
do,
That's
right?
all we can do.
You gotta keep learning.
You got anything else in current events?
No, I had something else, but it's negative, and I don't even want to talk about it.
You don't want to do nothing negative?
We're gonna keep it where it's at.
It hurts, don't it?
It does.
It hurts. It
I just need
burns.
y'all to do better with this Popeyes chicken.
Yeah, the Popeyes chicken thing. Please comment in. Let us know what you think about the Popeyes chicken situation.
Have you tried it?
No, I don't eat fast food at all. Yeah, I don't eat fast food
Not
at all.
even to see what all the hype is about.
I don't trust a lot of people in this world. if everybody's eating that chicken, I am not eating that chicken. I tell you right now.
There's a reason why.
There's a rhyme and reason for the way people do things.
I gotcha.
So let's read a couple comments real quick. Shout out to Derek Woodson, who couldn't be here with us today. Derek says, because we as a people love to beef amongst each other, but nothing to the people who harm us. It's a sickness. Very true. That's my whole point. You know what I mean? Like, we constantly got beef with each other. You know, we want to step up and disagree with everything that another black person does, instead of trying to develop an understanding. We just want to quickly jump up and say, hey, you know, I don't like that. I don't like what he's doing. But how would everybody feel if Jay-Z came back and said, well, what you broke fools know about
Right.
what I'm doing? See, then everybody be mad, right? They be mad. But I'm going to leave it on that note. Look, we up on our first break. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. Today we are talking entrepreneurship. Stay with us. We'll be black after this.
Ooh.
Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange.
Artists Exchange Live.
The Artists Exchange. The Artists Exchange.
The Artists Exchange.
Starts now.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. What you up against, go hard. Don't matter. Can you imagine how I really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen it's less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all her homies head. I could wait for your response, but they let her hear me talk, so I just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get lost. Be a man of everything you say you stand for. Lead your people by example, being hands-on. If you're back against the wall, then get your mash on.
My name is Ruth Rusi. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old, and this is how I live united. I say retired, but not really. Once a week, I read books to children as part of United Way's education program. Reading to a child creates links between language and literacy. It creates a bond between grown-up and child. And believe it or not, it prepares them for a better academic future. Oh, we read about frogs and flies and pigs with wings, all sorts of juicy stuff. It's a joy to watch all those little faces. I figure I have the time and they have the need. And I've always believed that if we're not here to help each other, then what are we here for really? My name is Ruth Rusi. I help kids prepare to succeed in school. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra. I have been in this country 32 years, and this is how I live united. America has always been the land of promise, and in my community, many families have come for a better life. Coming from another culture myself, I know the desire to become part of a community, to feel at home, and to gain the tools for our children and families to succeed. So I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to look beyond their histories and to see what opportunities are available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools, network within the community, and when we do, we unite them. We make the community stronger. What I do is something I wish someone had done for me, and I am so grateful I am able to. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunities and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, That's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
What it means to be an entrepreneur, and we're even going to give you 7 steps to becoming an entrepreneur. But we were just talking current events, we was talking Jay-Z and Popeye's chicken. I mean, look at the contrast in the two, right? Jay-Z and Popeye's chicken. Look at the difference, right? First we was mad at Jay-Z, now we cooning for chicken. You know, make your mind up. I'm just saying, make your mind up.
Cooning for chicken.
Cooning for chicken, right? All right. So again, I want to remind everyone that today we are going to attempt to give away 2 tickets to the Eat Black Baltimore on September 28th, hosted by Black Professional Men. This will be in Baltimore City at the Startup Nest. These tickets have a retail value of $20, and we're going to put a question out there today, and whoever can comment in the first and the fastest and answer the question will win the tickets. And for those who are chefs or cooks, this is a great opportunity for you to showcase your work. Be a vendor at the Eat Black Baltimore at the Startup Nest on September 28th. You can contact us for further information. You can email me at blackbydemand4 letter U at gmail.com. That's blackbydemand4U at gmail.com. All right, so let's get into the show. So we are talking entrepreneurship. And, you know, like when people hear that term, you know, they kind of know what it means.
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and define it for you. So what is an entrepreneur? So an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater financial risk to do so. Synonyms: businessman, businesswoman, business person, business executive, or enterpriser. So I always tell people it's a risk taker, you know, and notice how it said taking greater financial risk to do so.
Right.
So an entrepreneur is a risk taker. So let's talk about the risk. What do you think the risks that are involved with being an entrepreneur? Just off the top of your head. There's really no right or wrong here.
Well, there's no security in being an entrepreneur.
Bingo. So what security are you referring to? I know, but let's tell the audience what you're referring to.
Benefits. Insurance.
Insurance.
Of course, financially, if you're not making no money, then
Sure, you don't have a guaranteed check every week, right?
So
you don't have a guaranteed check. You don't have the security net of a 401k plan, the benefits of health and dental insurance. So you're a risk taker. And then what also is at risk is your money.
Right.
The money that you put up towards your business, hoping that you get a return. And often you don't.
Hoping.
Notice I said hoping, right? Often you don't. So an entrepreneur is a business person, is a businesswoman, is a businessman, but they're also a risk taker. They are a risk taker. They're taking a risk on saying, hey, listen, within this society, you got 2 options. You can either be an employee and work for an entrepreneur, or you can become an entrepreneur and pursue your own dreams. So entrepreneurs take that risk and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to try it by myself, you know. And it is a risk because it's a lot that's involved to try to make your business successful. So that's what an entrepreneur is. They're a risk taker, wanting to open up a business. So I'll give you a little backdrop. The road to entrepreneurship is often treacherous. It's often a treacherous one, filled with unexpected detours, roadblocks, and dead ends. There are lots of sleepless nights, plans that don't work out, funding that doesn't come through, and customers that never materialize. Tell me about it. It can be so challenging to launch a business that it may make you wonder why anyone willingly sets out on such a path, because it is such a risk involved. Yet despite all these hardships, every year thousands of entrepreneurs embark on this journey determined to bring their vision to fruition and fill the need they see in society. They open brick and mortar businesses, launch tech startups, or bring new products and services into the marketplace. So what motivates entrepreneurs to venture forth when so many others would run in the other direction? Though each person's motivation is nuanced and unique, most entrepreneurs are spurred by one or more of the following motivators. So we're going to give you some motivators to help you understand what motivates an entrepreneur to want to take that risk that we talked about, right? So there are a couple things that motivate them. Number one is autonomy. Entrepreneurs want to be their own boss, set their own goals, control their own progress, and run their businesses how they see fit. They recognize that their business's success or failure rests with them, yet they don't view this responsibility as a burden, but instead a marker of their freedom. Ah, getting into something now, right? A marker of their freedom. So, one of the motivations is the autonomy of it, which is wanting to be your own boss.
I can understand that.
You can understand that, right?
Yeah.
And the heavy motivation on that part is the freedom, right? So it's like entrepreneurs would rather be broke, but free to change being broke,
right,
than to not be so broke and then be what we would see as being boggled down by having to attend.
Chained down.
Yeah. Chained down, right?
Say what it is.
To attend,
Chained.
a spot all the time. So, so forth and so on. Just give me one
That's
second.
the worst. I can understand that there.
All right, so I had to do that real quick. Yes, so it's freedom involved with it. It's a freedom that's risque because, entrepreneurs go through phases where they question themselves, like, oh, man, maybe I should just get a job. Like everybody else is doing their thing. They, taking vacations, living their life, and an entrepreneur is kind of in the struggle. You know what I mean? So you can find yourself questioning yourself. But we're going to get further into the autonomy of this, but stay with us. We're up on another break. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. Today we are talking entrepreneurship defined. Going to make everybody have an understanding on this. Stay with us.
Make you want to quit your job.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, okay, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. Yeah, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up.
Allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism of a Perry's show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn because I'm going to make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have Nots to be like 5% shorter, each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, because this is supposed to be a soap opera. No one's dialogue on The Young and the Restless is like this. You don't have to talk about the random plant in the corner for 25 minutes on one damn scene.
They talk about random plants.
It was a blood stain on the floor for 5 episodes. I can't take it. We need to kick this up. I'm sorry. I love the Have and the Have Nots, and I continue to watch it in its 5th season. But I get so mad when I can go get myself a glass of water and come back, and he had just started the next sentence in his first paragraph. I can't stand it.
They just want to get the point across.
It's not but you don't get the point for 4 episodes. It's too much. So now, according to ET Online reports, Tyler Perry has a pre-cut and dried response to a pretty cut and dry response to the rumors about him and Oprah. Here's what he says. It's completely fine.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are talking entrepreneurship defined today. So for those who missed it, let me go over the definition again. Entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater financial risk to do so. So we are talking about a risk taker. So we were going over the motivators to make people want to be an entrepreneur, want to be a risk taker. So the first one was the autonomy of it, which basically deals with entrepreneurs want to be their own boss. How do you feel about being your own boss? With Samantha Glam by Sam, you are the boss. How does that feel?
I'm the HBIC. It's great compared to working my full-time job, which I cannot stand. But
right.
It's just a matter of being on somebody else's time that really grinds my gears.
Grinds your gears?
I can't stand it.
Yeah, so that's inspiration to make you want to continue to do well with Glam by Sam, right?
True.
Now, let's talk about the pressures, though. Let's talk about the pressure.
That's the thing.
Of not having
scary.
systems in place.
Right.
You got to do it, right?
It's not easy thinking about not having that guaranteed check every 2 weeks.
No guaranteed check.
Yeah.
And you have to be the motivation behind your business.
Right.
Like, entrepreneurs don't often have a team where, you can just say, hey, you do this, you do that, you do that. Usually you are the team. Mm-hmm. So my experience has been, like if you lay out everything that you need for your team, let's say, your president, your vice president, your vice president of marketing, the person who's in charge of the street team, the person who's in charge of advertising, you're in all of those slots. That's your name. That's your name in all those slots. So the goal is to eventually put people in those slots where you erase your name, then you write in somebody else's name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you get to write in your close friend. She's in charge of the IG account now. So it's like, whew, it's one off the list, right? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how you want to go down the list. You can learn that in a good book called The E-Myth Revised. Really good book to read. The E-Myth Revised. It's a book that I recommend for entrepreneurs who want to get the basis of how a business is supposed to run. You know what I mean? So it's very basic, but it's what you need, especially in the beginning. The understanding that a business has an owner, it has a manager, it has a technician. In the beginning of entrepreneurship, you are all three of those. You are the owner, you are the manager, you are the technician. So you own Glam by Sam, you manage Glam by Sam, and you are Glam by Sam, right? You performing the work. So you're all three positions. So the goal is to eventually replace, your name with some others' names. So any other type of, I won't say struggle, but challenges have you faced with Glam by Sam?
Being the only person, you can only do but so much.
True.
So,
True.
That's another struggle when it's just you.
It's just you, and in the beginning, trying to assemble a team when you don't have the revenue to pay people, it can be a struggle.
Yeah, because you go based just off the fact that you support whatever that person is doing.
Sure, especially within our community, unfortunately.
Yeah.
If we can't get paid right now, immediately, a lot of us won't want to fool with it. Like, it's like too many of us don't understand the concept of it's a privilege if an entrepreneur lets you get involved with their business, even though they can't pay you right now. But basically, they're letting you help them collect the ingredients to bake this pie. So they're saying, if you help me bake this pie, I can't pay you nothing right now. But once we got this pie baked,
everybody
that's right, $3.50 for 45 minutes, we all getting a slice of this. But a lot of us, it's been my experience that if they can't get a slice of pie like immediately, it's not fooling with it, right? And that's done by design. It's an employee state of mind because as an employee, you go through your whole life and everything you do, you get paid for it.
Right.
Right. But as an entrepreneur, you may be able to be a part of a team that's building something. So you can't get paid right now, but you can seal your position in to get paid. So these are the people who, when you see a business and then they like, well, who's that woman over there? And they're like, oh, well, that's Miss Johnson, what I mean, Miss Anderson, whoever. Well, what does she do? Well, she's been here since the beginning,
I was with him.
Right. Well, he couldn't pay me nothing, right? She's got a position, she's got some pull. So that's something that needs to be considered. It's actually an honor if you're able to get involved with an entrepreneur And they say, hey, can you help me with this? And you say, yeah, I'll help you in my spare time. Let's see if we can make it happen. Now, if that person can reach that same level of passion about your dream, your business that you have, oh God, now you're ready to rock and roll, because people can bring things to the table. You know what I mean? Like when you're just an employee, you're not being challenged on what you can bring to the table.
Right.
You're being assigned what to do. Do this, do that, I pay you.
Yep.
But when you join an entrepreneur, you have the opportunity to involve your creativity. You can come and say, hey, listen, I got an idea. What do you think about this? We do this, we do that. That could draw on this, so forth and so on. So it actually gives you a chance to be more creative with who you are. You know what I mean? So that in itself is a payday.
Yeah.
It's a payday, because your job doesn't want your creativity.
Nope. I'll tell you that right now. They want you to do what they
Right.
do.
They don't want your creativity.
Right.
They want you to get the job done.
They don't care about your opinion.
No, not at all.
That's not what they pay you.
That's right. So the number one motivator was the autonomy. All right, so the number two motivator is purpose. Many entrepreneurs have a clear vision of what they want to accomplish and feel compelled towards tirelessly to make that happen. They genuinely believe they have a product or service that fills a void and are compelled by a single-minded commitment that goal to keep pushing ahead. They abhor and would rather fall while moving forward than languish in inactivity. Oh, I love that.
Say that again?
I'm going to get a bell on that. All right, I'll say it again. They abhor stagnation and would rather fall while moving forward than languish in inactivity. And what that means is entrepreneurs cannot stand to stand still. They are tirelessly working towards getting their business to do something. So they don't want to be stagnant.
Right.
You get what I mean? And they would rather be doing something and fall or fail at it while trying to move forward than to be sitting back, languishing and inactivity, doing nothing. Because to entrepreneurs, most of us understand that failure is a part of the game. As in the words of my president, Hassan Diggs, fail fast. Because if you fail fast, it's the quicker you get to learn the lesson from that failure. You move on to the next,
Right.
So you got to fail fast.
I like that.
Yeah, fail fast. Whereas when you don't have these type of teachings, you kind of go into it with the fear of failing. But no, entrepreneurs fail all the time. Michael Jordan, I mentioned this before, he used to have that commercial back in the day where he talked about that he took the game-winning shot 100 times and missed. He said, but like 20 times,
I made it.
I hit it. We won championships. You get what I mean? Won championships. So that's very important. We don't want to be stagnant. You know what I mean? An entrepreneur does not want to be sitting still and doing nothing. Because remember, they don't have the security of waking up and saying, as long as I put these hours in this week, this check's guaranteed to come.
You gotta be doing something.
You gotta be doing something. It takes a certain spirit, and they have to believe in their product or service. Like we wholeheartedly believe in Black by the Man. We believe in our brand. We believe in the radio show. We believe in our products, our apparel, our hoodies, our sweatshirts. If that's not there, how are we going to convince the rest of the world of this great ideal, this great product that we have?
Right.
You know what I mean? When we're not showing how much that we wholeheartedly believe in it. So it's of the essence. It is of the essence, and you don't know how hard of a worker you are until you start working for yourself. you will go hard for you. That's no such thing. Yeah, you will go hard for you. You will go hard for you. So so purpose. So do you feel like with Glam by Sam, you have a purpose?
I do have a purpose. I have very big ideas for Glam by Sam. I'm not at a place where I feel like I know how to get there or know the steps to take. And being an entrepreneur and everything that entails, that does scare me because, of course, there's not that security. Right. So I'm like a timid mouse up at the line. Like I want to cross it so bad, but I'm like.
As they say, don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
Right. Keep your job, but then work on being, this entrepreneur. I can understand you would face challenges, because I think what you're experiencing is, when you are the talent, sometimes that's what you feel.
Yeah.
Like you just feel like, well, I'm the talent. You know what I mean? I kind of need somebody else to, you know what I mean, maneuver some of these business moves. But it's all trial and error. You know what I mean? It's all trial and error. You know, like I'm pretty transparent. Like I tell people, when I started Black by the Man, I didn't have it all mapped out. Like first we're going to do this, then we're going to do that. You know, no, I just got it started. You know what I mean? Got it started, and then you kind of watch it take on its own life. You know what I mean?
Like, oh, I did
right,
that.
take on its own life. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I didn't even know that. Didn't expect that. I had an experience a couple of weeks back down at White Marsh on the Avenue, and it was crowded. Band out there playing, people doing things. And I spotted someone out the corner of my eye with a Black by the Man t-shirt on.
Did you know him?
Yes, I did know that person. But I didn't know they had ordered a t-shirt. You get what I mean? So that made it that much better, you know what I mean? And I didn't go over to him and say anything because it was crowded, you know what I mean? I didn't want to cross all the way over.
Yeah.
But it was a certain feeling that came over me. Like,
I've seen people out and about with it, and then
see, I don't get to see them as often as everybody else.
I saw somebody at Royal Farms, and I was like, and I'm looking to see if like if I could recognize them, but when it's somebody that you'd be like, I ain't never seen this.
Never seen, right.
And then when I wear mine and somebody else has their on, it's like, okay, what you know about it? You kind of like.
That's what my neighbor said. Yeah, my neighbor said the same thing. When he sees somebody with it on, because he knows it's me, he almost wants to question them. Like, what you know about Black by the Man? You know, what do you know about that? So
you got hip to this?
So that was pretty cool. So you know, I hope that you get to experience that as well when someone's walking around. You know, or taking pictures, and it's like Glam by Sam did this makeup, you know what I mean, so forth and so on. And that's when you start to see, okay, this thing has got a life on its own here, you know, like, and I didn't have on a BBD shirt at that time. I was so embarrassed. I was like, I can't even go up to him. I don't even have on a BBD shirt, you know, but it was a great feeling, though. It was a great feeling. So you definitely will experience that.
It's funny because I was out and I had my shirt on, and I went to the bar and somebody stopped me. They were like, what you know about it? And I'm like, excuse you? To question me?
I think one of the great moments was I had someone who had ordered some, and they sent the family pic, you know. So shout out to Robert Smith out there fighting for us in Afghanistan. He ordered for his family, you know, who's still at home in Colorado.
Right.
So his wife took a pic with, you know, her and his children. You know what I mean? Their children, I should say, and they all had on the white Black by the Man, and then she had on the black one. You know what I mean? And when I saw the picture when he sent it to me, I was just like, you know, it was just so heartwarming, right? They were way out in Colorado, and they representing for Black by the Man, and that's what I mean. It's like, okay, this is bigger than me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you'll get to experience that same thing. And I tell those stories to encourage other people. You know what I mean? I'm just a regular guy like everybody else. But if you believe passionately in your product or your service, and then people see you putting forth that energy into it, you know what I mean? It's positive energy. You'll get the right people. It may take a little time. Your family and friends might hate on you a little bit, but you know they just jealous a little bit. Don't worry about that. You know, let's keep it moving, right? Because the rest of the world, the rest of the world will, you know, begin to appreciate it. So purpose is a big one. Got to have some purpose here. So what do you think would be the average person's purpose for wanting to become an entrepreneur? Would it be freedom? Would it be money? Would it be the challenge, you know what I mean, of creating a business? Like, what do you think the biggest purpose would be?
I think it's a combination of all those things.
Yeah.
Because you can find a job that gives you the freedom to move how you want and still get that check. You can find a job that you believe in and, you know, allows you to do those. So I think it's a combination of all those things. You don't want to be tied down. You want to make your own money, and you have your own ideas that you want to put out there. So. Yeah,
I asked that because I was just reading in a particular book, and the book is it's about a particular position, and I won't get into the position, but it was giving insight on the psychic of people when it comes to work. And the book was saying that the average person does not want to work for anybody at all. And I was thinking, wow, I didn't know that, because like it's way more employees than it is entrepreneurs. So I would think the opposite, right? Yeah. But the book was saying the average person doesn't want to work for somebody, and that's why they be at work acting up. I was like, okay.
Yes.
You know?
It makes so much sense.
It makes sense, right? So they was like, that's the psychology behind it. Like, they don't want to work for nobody.
No.
So they're at work acting up. Because
that's why you mad.
They don't want to be there.
That's why you're so irate.
So irate.
That's why.
I don't want to be here. So yeah, and then the second thing it was saying that people don't like having bosses.
What no? Only person I want to listen to is my damn self. What makes you think I want to go somewhere and have somebody else tell me what to do?
Tell you, looking at you like you late, but what you supposed to been here?
Right? Can I leave 10 minutes? Can I leave?
Right.
Have to ask permission?
How about can I use the bathroom? I'm gonna take a bathroom break. Don't do it yet. Wait until we finish.
Right. Do like your mama told you to do. They tell you can't go to the bathroom, you get up and you go.
Right.
You mean ask to go to the bathroom?
Oh God, that is funny. So yeah, so purpose is important. Clear vision. Do you feel free to, if your answer is no on this, don't feel a certain way. Do you have a clear vision of what you want Glam by Sam to be? Because remember, I admitted I didn't have a completely clear vision. I had a clear vision of what I wanted to communicate, but not necessarily what I wanted the brand to turn into.
Clear, no.
Right.
I have multiple visions for Glam by Sam.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
That I hopefully can work into having everything come into one. But I have like a couple different avenues that I feel like I can take Glam by Sam, but nothing that is like I'm super solid.
So today you did your makeup, right? See, you guys get to see firsthand how she gets
she
down.
Is beat today. I try.
She gets down. Better get down. Yeah, vision is good to have, and of course, if you don't have a clear vision, that's food for thought, something to think about, and maybe even short-term goals. Short-term goals versus long-term goals.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's got to be a purpose, even if that purpose is you not wanting a boss, even if that purpose is you wanting more freedom. It's a purpose. Like that's enough to drive people.
Yeah.
It was enough to drive me. Like I've been an entrepreneur probably for about 20 years now, but the thing that drove me towards that is I really didn't like working for the people that I was working for. I felt like it was too unfair and it was too stressful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. As a young man, I was like, I can't do this the rest of my life. Like I cannot keep coming in here with my top hat on and my tap dance shoes and walking around on eggshells because certain groups of people want to feel uncomfortable, so forth and so on. But listen, hold that thought. We're up on break. We'll be back. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We are talking entrepreneurship defined. We'll be back. But yeah, it was. I was.
White keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel up. Let's do it.
If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head and I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Working mode, time to wear the cash. If you wear the cash, time to wear the cash. If you playing for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crack. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride. You know I ride, and you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit for real. When it's me and Murray, just us, we chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Pay the dues that it cost to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you. Oh yeah. Come on, dog, throw this in there. Had to dedicate this to the homie out of New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. We gonna do it. Go ahead, do it.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah, I got that one in here and then the other one on the phone now. All right, welcome back everybody to the Black by the Man radio show. I'm your host, Brother Mike, along with one of my awesome team members, Miss Samantha Glad by Sam, in case you missed it.
Hi.
We are talking entrepreneurship defined, so we're letting you know what an entrepreneur is, and we're even going to give you on the second half of the show 7 steps to become one, kind of help people get pushed in that direction. So we were going over motivators. The first one was autonomy, which is basically entrepreneurs want to be their own boss, set their own goals, control their own progress, run their own business, and do things how they see fit. The second one was purpose, which is many entrepreneurs have a clear vision of what they want to accomplish, and they feel compelled to tirelessly work towards that particular vision. And they abhor stagnation. Stagnation means standing still.
Right.
So entrepreneurs feel like if they had a day where they stood still, right? So they took that day and, they went out with the family or the friends, went to the cookout. Then after that, went to the bar later that evening, so forth and so on. To an entrepreneur, many of us, we feel like that's a wasted day. Like I didn't do anything today towards my goals. Mm-hmm. Now, I think a lot of us, we like having those days, but it's after certain accomplishments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we achieve certain little things, then it's like, all right, I'm ready to, have a little miniature celebration here because we just, got the deal for $100 million. No, we didn't. All right, so let's move on to the next motivator. All right, so the next motivator is flexibility. That's flexibility, right? Not everyone fits into the rigidity of traditional corporate culture. Entrepreneurs are often looking to free themselves from these constraints, find a better work-life balance, or work at times and in ways that may be unconventional. This doesn't mean that they are working fewer hours. Often, especially in the early stages of growing a business, they are working longer and harder, but rather they are working in a way that is natural and instructional to them. Mm-hmm. So flexibility. So again, we're going back to people feeling like, I want to do it my way, I want to do it my way.
My way is the best way.
Right, your way is the best way. Do you enjoy, and I know you still work full time, mm-hmm. but do you enjoy the flexibility that comes with Glam by Sam? Meaning like you can set appointments whenever you want.
Yeah, if I could live my life completely like that,
you can.
I can.
You can. It's got to be the little train that said you can. That's all.
I know.
I think I can. Remember we went over shows about the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. Words are powerful. Put it out there. That's all the Most High God left us here was the word.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep putting it out there.
Keep on putting it out there.
See how it works.
Keep on putting it out there. So yeah, flexibility. Anyone in the audience today, if you guys have any comments about flexibility and entrepreneurship, or if you're familiar with it, you have a family member that's an entrepreneur, mm-hmm. Let us know. We'd love to hear about it. But while we're doing it, we'll take a second out to do this. So on the second half of the show, the first person that answers this question will be the one who we'll award the tickets to.
Okay.
We need you to type in and tell us what Black by Demand stands for. Okay? And that's not the hardest thing to figure out, right? But it's going to be about who's the quickest. So, starting on the second half of the show, which will be about in the next 10 to 15 minutes, whoever comments the quickest on what Black by Demand stands for will win 2 tickets to the Eat Black Baltimore on September 28th, which is a showcase of black chefs and cooks in the Baltimore metropolitan area. It is sponsored by Black Professional Men, Inc., also known as BPM, and will be held at the Startup Nest. I really like the Startup Nest. Mm-hmm. It's a nice space. I love how they definitely get that space every year. So yeah, tell us what Black by Demand is, and tell us what it means to you. Give us the official breakdown of Black by Demand, and then give us a little insight on what it means to you, and you can win a couple tickets to Eat Black Baltimore. So we'll check back on that in the next 15 minutes.
That's like a free date.
Right? Get one for you and your date.
Yeah.
2 tickets. All right, so back to flexibility. I enjoy the flexibility.
We know you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I ain't got no money, but I'm flexible as hell. But yeah, I enjoy the flexibility of it, especially in earlier years. You know, like now my son didn't know this growing up. To him, this was normal. But, you know, his mother was, you know, also an entrepreneur. So, you know, she was in the hair industry. So he came home every day to his parents, you know, if it was both of us or at least one of us. And a lot of times it was me because my office was in the basement, you know. So this was normal to him. And it took until he grew up to realize, like, oh, my God, like, my mom and dad was home almost every day I came home.
Right.
Yeah, one of us was usually there. So that was a part of the flexibility, being that I was in the cleaning industry and you do the work at night, right? So at home, I'm in my office, you know, I'm chilling. You know, I can come and go, you know what I mean, as I please.
Move as you want to move.
Yeah, you move as you want to move. I remember explaining to him, it was a couple situations with his mother's side of the family in the South where people got sick, so they went to go visit, you know, one particular person came back, and then like a week or two later, someone else was sick, and there was other members that couldn't go, you know, and he was like, I don't understand why such and such is not going. I'm like, son, she got a job.
Right.
She got a job, like she used up them PTO days.
Right. And what's
But
the matter with the
he was still
son?
only about 12 or 13, so he didn't really understand it. So I had to break it down to him because in his mind, he's like, well, Dad, you get to go all over the place, you know, why?
Wherever you feel like going.
I'm like, son, we different.
It's a sad time when you got to live according to how many PTO hours you got.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So that was his first
sickening.
introduction to PTO. You
It's
know?
so sick, man.
So sickening. So flexibility is important, right?
Yes.
We all want to be able to do what we want.
Yes.
You know, like as black people, we can just show up at the job and be like, listen, I'm going to come here when I feel like it. I'm going to work when I feel like it, but I need the check to be in full all the time. Stay with us.
Facts. Not
on
a little
break.
bit short.
We'll be back after this. Yeah, nobody wants to come here and work, right?
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on beexposedradio.com.
You wanna start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're
in your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early into the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4. with a 4.34 ERA, and in May he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well, and on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Radio show. I'm over here getting my tickets together. So in case you missed it, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Eat Black Baltimore coming up on September 28th to the lucky person who can tell us what Black by Demand means and what it means to you. So we'll be waiting for that in the comments. Feel free to type in and win yourself some tickets to an awesome event where you can eat some awesome food with some awesome black chefs and cooks from right here in the Baltimore metropolitan area, hosted by an awesome group of men called Black Professional Men, Inc. And I stand tall as a proud member, and I thank you. I thank you. All right, so we are on to our next motivator. Financial success. More entrepreneurs realize they aren't going to be overnight billionaires, but that doesn't mean they aren't at least a little bit seduced by the potential of making a ton of money. Some may want to establish a financial safety net for themselves and their families, while others are looking to make a huge profit by creating the next big thing. So financial success. So often people want to become entrepreneurs because they feel they have a higher shot at financial success.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Jobs have caps.
Right.
Right? So there's only but so far you can go.
And you gotta ask.
And you gotta ask, right? Make you wait all year and give you 50 cents.
Disrespect. I'm mad you just said that. I get so pissed off.
Make you wait all year.
For a 37-cent raise.
37 cents.
But you did so good.
You did well. We're going to give you 50 cents instead of 37.
Amazing. Here's 37 cents.
Here's 37 cents.
I'll slap you in your face with it.
So, of course, you guys know we're not saying jobs are bad things. We're just having fun. You know?
Wait.
We don't, well, there you have it. We don't want to offend anybody. We all know we got to grind. We got to work. But we should be shooting to be entrepreneurs as well, even if it's just a small little business you do on the side in your spare time. I mean, if you really think about what happens in spare time, we end up spending a lot of money. So what better to do with your spare time than to try to make a little money versus spending a little money? Let me read a few comments here. Shout out to Miss D. Brown. How you doing today, Miss Brown? She says, BBD mean everything to me when it's from the exchange and making a difference in and around your community and abroad. Black is for the people. Buy is how we practice group economics. Demand is for change. All right. Woo! Miss Brown. We have a winner. So, Miss Brown, this is what we got for you. We got 2 tickets to Eat Black Baltimore. You and a guest can come and get a chance to try out some really delicious food with some great vendors. Black by Demand will be in the building. We'll be there with our shirts.
Yeah.
You know, and we're looking forward to it as well. So, all you need to do is get in contact with us through our email, which is blackbydemand4u@gmail.com. So that's blackbydemand4u@gmail.com. blackbydemand4u@gmail.com. So we can get you your tickets. And make sure you let your family and friends know that we have other tickets available for them as well. Tickets are $20 at retail. But if you have a few of them, we might be able to get you a discount if you want to get 5 or 6 or 7 of them. So yeah, congratulations on that, Miss Brown, and thank you for understanding what Black by Demand's all about. It's group economics. Black is for the people. Buy is how we practice group economics. Demand is for change. So we have a winner. So that was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah, Miss Brown, she deserves them too, man. She's definitely one of our audience members that tunes in with us, and we are thankful to have you, Miss Brown. Thank you very much. All right, so let's keep it moving. So we were talking about one of the motivators being financial success. I think everybody wants financial success.
Yeah.
I mean, that's truly like a big motivator for even getting a job. You know what I mean? People want the job that's going to pay them, you know, the proper amount of money. She says, thank you, Brother Mike. You are very welcome, Miss Brown. Thank you. But yeah, so financial success is one of the motivators to being an entrepreneur. Everybody wants some money. You get a little bit of paper, you know? And entrepreneurs make different paper. Now, I don't say this from my experience, right? I'm saying it from, I know other entrepreneurs, but yeah, their checks are different. You know, like they don't do the hourly rate thing.
Nah,
you know? They don't do that, you know?
A whole other bracket.
So yeah, financial success is a motivator. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong wanting to be an entrepreneur because you want to change your tax status. You know, that's a nice way of putting it, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? All right, so next motivator is legacy. Have you ever thought about that? Legacy. No. All right, entrepreneurs are often guided by a desire to create something that will outlast them. A segment of this group is led by ego and a craving of notoriety. Others want to create a brand that has longevity and becomes an institution, Black by demand. Another group wants to pass on a source of income and security to their heirs. There are also those entrepreneurs who hope to make a lasting impression on the world and leave behind an innovation that improves people's lives in some tangible way. Black by demand again, absolutely.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth, right? So, legacy. People want to build a legacy, right? That's a good thing, right?
That is a good thing.
Have you considered building a legacy? I know you have a little one, right? She's got the little one. You want to build a legacy for her?
Of course.
Right? Glam by Sam?
I don't want her going through none of this bullshit I done had to through.
No more of that, right?
No.
I want something different for you, baby.
Oh.
That's good, as you should. You know what I mean? Like, as you should. So legacy is a big thing. I definitely want to create a legacy for, you know, my son. You get what I mean? Have something for him to, you know, have in place where he doesn't have to go through the struggle. You know, like, you know, most of us have.
Yep.
You get what I mean? But, you know, like I told him, you have to help. You got to help me do this, you know. You got to help me do this. But, yeah, so that's what's up. Legacy is very important. Let me click on my chat here. Let's see if I can get back to my watch party. My party of watches.
Oh. This thing is cool, though.
You like that watch party?
Yeah.
Nice.
I sent out a lot of invites, so.
Okay, that's what we need. We need the audience, right? Get them tuning in.
Get everybody.
Okay, so I think I got this one back. So what else would go along with legacy? Leaving an impact on the world, right? Maybe you did something that changed.
Your brand did.
Right, what your brand did, right? Your brand, with it being about, you know, glam, you know, it could be empowering those who have went through certain things, you know, like burn victims, abusive victims. You know, Glam by Sam could be the way that they find themselves again. I'm giving out secrets, y'all. But you get what I mean? That could be the way that they could begin to, you know, build confidence in themselves again. Like I always see that with like the people who donate wigs to the cancer patients. You know what I mean? The children get to put on wigs and see themselves with hair again. You know, so that's going to leave an impact. Black by Demand, of course, our impact is group economics. You know, we're trying to teach the world group economics and how to be proud to be black and to support black businesses, and that it's not a crime. You know, it's not a hate crime. Like everybody's assigned a team. I'm on Team Black. You know, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, so we play for Team Black. You know, and you know, just to be competitive with the other teams. You know, not that we hate the other teams.
No, but they play for their team.
They play for their team. We play for our team. You know, that's what's up. It's a level of respect that is developed when other people can clearly see, like, oh, you know, they play for their team. Miss D. Brown says a legacy can give a person hope for tomorrow. Absolutely. I believe in building legacies for our children and our children's children. Right. Absolutely, Miss Brown. So, yeah, Black by Demand is going to be that legacy that's going to be around. You know, I hope to grow to be a, you know, elderly man. I'm 86 years old, and everybody's living a different life, and they say, you know, Pop Mike, you know, he set it all in motion when he was younger. He had a lot of fire in him. Now he's an old man. I'm looking at the shirts like, what kind of damn shirt is that? Right. It's one of your shirts, Pop. Is it? Okay, all right. So, yeah, legacy's a big thing, right? So I think that was the last one of the motivators. Let's see. Tell me what you got here, friend. Yes. All right. So motivators to get you into becoming an entrepreneur. The first motivator is autonomy. The second one is purpose. The third is flexibility. The fourth is financial success. And the fifth is legacy.
Okay, so out of that list, which one most resonates with you?
Which resonates the most with me? It's a good question. I'm going to say...
I know what I would say.
Probably purpose for me.
Purpose?
Yeah, probably purpose. Because I have a purpose for Black by Demand, you know what I mean? Legacy would probably be next, you get what I mean? But yeah, purpose because, you know, our brand means something, you know what I mean? The purpose is to teach group economics, you know, promote, practice, and encourage group economics. So the purpose is probably the biggest. Legacy would probably be second. Flexibility I've had, you know, even as a barber, you know, I have flexibility. Financial success, of course, I want that as well. You know, so everybody go buy a T-shirt today. Blackbytheman.com, blackbytheman.com, blackbytheman.com. Right? So yeah. So what did you think I would have chose?
I didn't know.
You didn't
I
know?
know what I would say is,
Okay,
as,
tell me
as
yours.
my number one: autonomy, flexibility, and
Okay.
the financial.
Financial. Nice. Yeah,
I
because
just hate being told what to do, man. I just I hate it.
Miss D. Brown says legacy resonates with her.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Legacy's a big one. Yep. Legacy's a big one. Absolutely. Yeah. I want that too, Miss Brown. I'm gonna leave a little legacy around. I want them to be talking about Black by Demand when I'm long gone. You know, they're gonna say, you know, who created it? I don't know, some dude. They don't even know Brother Mike no more. Like, it's
They'll
Black
be
by
talking about
Demand.
you when they open up the BBD museum.
Yeah, the BBD Museum. We have the BBD store. You know, Towson Town Center maybe. You know, I like the Lacoste store.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that store is just a separate store. Like you can get Lacoste in Macy's, you can get it probably in Nordstrom's, but then Lacoste has their own store, right? Where it's just all Lacoste stuff. It's folded a different way. Like I love to see a BBD store like that. You know, all Black by the Band. Like yeah, you can get it from here and there, but you get it. You know, it's like Vans. Like you get Vans from Journeys, you can get Vans from Foot Locker. But then there's the Van store, right? And everybody has to go to the Van store.
And they got some exclusive.
And they got exclusive stuff you can't get nowhere else. So yeah, that's kind of my vision on that. That's nice, very nice. All right, so those are your motivators. So we're gonna move into part 2 here. So part 2, we're gonna go over 7 steps to becoming an entrepreneur. Because now that we've given you the motivation, right? The autonomy, the purpose, the flexibility, the legacy, you know. Now let's get you started.
Right.
Let's get the ball rolling. You want to be an entrepreneur, we're going to give you some things to do. All right, so that's right. We're here in Baltimore City. It's authentic. It's very organic, right? It's very organic. You hear them sirens? Very organic. I love it though. You know
we in the thick of it.
Yeah, we in the city. You know what I mean? This is what it is. Because you know you're aware of how Baltimore is known, you know, throughout the nation. You know, so we just want to stand tall. That you know, y'all just scared.
We ain't scared.
We ain't scared. We here.
What's up?
All right, so 7 steps to becoming an entrepreneur. So number 1 is find the right business for you. Entrepreneurship is a broad term, and you can be an entrepreneur in just about any area. However, you will have to pick a field to work in and start your business. Find a business that won't only be successful, but is something you are passionate about. Entrepreneurship is hard work, so you want to focus your attention on something you care about. So if you in particular, yours is perfect.
Yeah.
You love makeup. You care about the glam, you know? Sam cares about the glam, you know? So because of that, that's a good pick.
Right.
You know, according to what we did the research on.
What's
right?
that saying? Find something that you love to do and you'll
never work a day in your life, right? Never work a day in your life. So that's what they're getting at. Don't just, you know, pick a business and think, I'm picking this because I think this can make money.
The most money. No.
But if you don't have the passion behind that, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. For me, I'm very passionate about educating our community. I'm very passionate about group economics. I'm very passionate about being a part of something that's going to help us as a community move forward. I want my son and his sons and his daughters and sons I want them to be in a different black community than what we came up in.
Right.
You know, so it's very passionate for me. And I think it also helps us to navigate within dominant society who often is against us.
Right.
You get what I mean? So yes, you want to find something that you are passionate about. And now that I think about it, I guess I've been doing that since I've been young, because I started cutting hair at 11 years old because I loved it. You know, like by the time I got to high school, like I was literally like already a good barber. You know what I mean? Had my little platform, you know, where I would cut, you know, our hair before the basketball games or, you know, before the football game. You know, I played sports, and it was called Mike's Concepts. You know, Concepts was like a big name for hair salons and stuff back in the 80s, yeah. So it was Mike's Concepts, right? And I didn't have a spot, but everybody knew, you know, you got a Mike's Concept cut. You know, so I was passionate about it, and I still am. I'm a master barber. I'm proud of it. You know, earned my keep on that. Thank you, brother. So yeah, so passion is important. Okay, so we are up on another break. Stay with us. We're going to go over these 7 steps to becoming an entrepreneur. But the first one is for you to find something that you are passionate at. What do you like? That should be the first place you look. So stay with us. It's the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. We'll be back.
This is a Poverty ENT exclusive. Next stop, Texaco. Strapped up, you already know. Fuck niggas hate, that's how it goes. Bros with me, yeah, it's time to go.
Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Great.
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, we really could have used him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
My name is Ruth Rusey. I'm a retired teacher. I'm 91 years old and this...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back everybody to the BBD Radio Show. So we are in the second half of the show. Today we are talking entrepreneurship defined. So we went over the motivators and now we're on to the 7 steps to becoming an entrepreneur. But before we do that, let me give a shout out here. Let me see here. What we got. All right, let's bring this down. So we want to take time out to give a personal shout out to all our sponsors of the BBD Radio Show, because where would we be without our sponsors? So we want to thank Blondie's Donuts, J&F Enterprises, Black Trivia Network, Perfect Office Solutions, Black Acres Roastery, Baltimore Hunger Project, Men, which is Male Enterprise Networks, Kiva Baltimore, Your Next Level Photography, and E&S Consulting Management. And a special shout out to my main man, Leroy McKenzie of J&F Enterprises. So those are our sponsors. Make sure you guys check out all of these businesses. They're all black owned. This is group economics at its finest. So check those out. We have them listed in the comments section so you can get the proper spelling, so forth, so have you, and so on. All right, so let's move on to number 2. So number 2 of the 7 steps in becoming an entrepreneur is determine if you should get an education, because this can be a big misconception. You know, like a lot of people think if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you must have to be super educated, have an MBA, so forth and so on. Right. So it says you don't need to have any type of formal education to be an entrepreneur, but that doesn't mean you should ignore education entirely. If you want to start a tech company, experience in business, computer programming, and marketing could all be valuable. Also, some industries will likely require some type of education, such as your own accounting or a lawyer firm, right? Now, that's if you're going big, you know what I mean? Overall, you could just get an accountant and a lawyer, you know what I mean? It's always good to have as a business owner, which is what an entrepreneur is. So determine your level of education. Is there any type of education that you feel that you would want to pursue with, like Glam by Sam? You know,
Yes.
any additional things? Talk to me.
Because you don't have to have like a makeup license or cosmetology license. It helps. And then there's also special services that I do want to offer that you do need to have like a certification for.
Nice.
So to, you know, better my business and give me that, you know, over everybody else, then I would,
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to say. If there are classes that pertain to your business, like you said, certain certifications, I think it's good to take that, you know what I mean, because it can take you to the next level where you can separate yourself from others. You know, like as a barber, I'm a licensed barber here in the state of Maryland, you know, but there are a lot of barbers, but I'm a master barber. See, so I wanted to have that next level of certification.
Right.
And, you know, again, there's a lot of barbers that are not even licensed, and they feel, you know, well, I'm just as good as you know, and you're a licensed barber. Yeah, but you're not educated on it. You don't know about sanitation. You don't know about shop etiquette. You know, you didn't have this particular training, you know, so a licensed barber is still at a higher class, even though the person who isn't licensed may have a better skill set.
Right.
But it's not just about the skill set, you know what I mean? It's about the education that comes with it and that nice little license that they give you with it. You get what I mean? Now, this is sidebar, but just to give you an example, I've come across barbers who have a problem with unlicensed barbers, right? And this is their statement. We worked hard and went to school and got our license.
Right.
Why should we let you come through the door just because you know how to cut hair and you eating off our plate?
True.
Ooh.
That's true.
Right?
I mean, you can't.
You can't.
Not that.
Right. Like you can't, if you know how to perform surgery, right? Because you've been practicing on sheep for 24 years, right? You can't go to the ER and be like, I know how to do that.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Why don't y'all let me do it? I know how to do it.
You don't have the credentials.
You don't have the credentials, so it's all about credentials. So if there are credentials that are associated with this business that you have a passion for, I would recommend getting those credentials, you know, because it all looks good when you list, you know, how you get down. I'm certified in this, I'm certified in that, you know what I mean? People are proud of their credentials or endorsements or, you know, whatever it's being titled. So
that gives you ground to stand on.
Absolutely. Now here's another secret. It also gives you grounds to charge more money. Right? Why would I charge you with that plumber is charging when he's a master plumber? Right? His numbers are going to be a little bit different. So yeah, you also get that little perk with it as well. So determine if you should get an education, and I say you should pursue some type of education, even if it's just reading a couple books that pertain to what you're trying to do, or a couple of books that's just on business, period. You know what I mean? You should definitely try to pursue that. It's only going to help you. Make yourself set apart. Set apart, set apart. All right, number 3 is plan your business. Before you begin your business, you need to have a business plan. A business plan lays out any objectives you have as well as your strategy for achieving those objectives. This plan is important for getting investors on board as well as measuring how successful your business is. Now, it actually says before you even begin, right? But I'm going to tweak that a little bit. You know, I would advise you to get a business plan at some point, right? But in the beginning, sometimes people just want to get busy. You know, they just want to get busy doing what they do. Like you do makeup, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be telling customers, well, I can't do you yet because I got to get my business plan together. No, you just get the customers taken care of. Get the money, secure the bag, right? Secure the bag. But business plan is.
Look, I'm gonna watch this back and be like, all the places I make the stuff that you be saying is ridiculous.
Secure the bag. What you want from me? It's a hot girl summer.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Ooh, I love all these hashtags for being loose. That's what they are. They hashtags for being loose, right? That's what the old folks used to say when we was young. She loose. She loose. No, it's a hot girl summer. She's not loose. It's a hot girl summer. Last year it was living my best life. I can't wait till 2020. What's that hashtag gonna be?
Whatever it is, we're not telling you. We know that.
I poke fun of it, right? So anyway, at some point you do want to do a business plan. So that's something you want to consider as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Look into a business plan, research it, because it does help you to figure out, your goals and things you want to do. And if you do reach a point where you want to, say, get a loan for your business, you're going to need that.
Yeah.
You're going to need that. Yep. I've never had a loan for BBD, but Kiva Baltimore coming to holler at you. All right, so let's go on to number 4. So number 4 is find your target group / audience. Not every business appeals to everyone. The age, gender, income, race, and culture of your target group will play a large role in determining when you open up shop or if you need to have a physical address for a business. Research which group fits your business model best and then gear everything to attract the demographic. So you got to know who your audience is.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, what do you consider to be your audience for Glam by Sam?
Hot girls. No, I'm kidding.
Hot girls for the hot girl summer. So who are you trying to target?
High school up through like.
Okay, so you got an idea.
Well, I mean, anybody can really wear makeup
right.
Anyway, but specifically.
Yeah, who do you want?
Through like mid-20s.
Okay.
Early 30s.
So millennials.
Yeah.
Millennials and what's under the millennials? What do they call it? Generation?
No,
it's not X. We were X. I forgot what it was.
I don't know. I know.
Like F or something like that.
Is it?
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, you want to know who you are trying to target. So that's good that you have an idea who you want to target. But we are up on another break, so stay with us. We'll be back after this. It's the Black by the Man radio show with Miss Samantha Glam by Sam. We are talking entrepreneurship defined.
Yes.
We'll be black.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the Black by Demand radio show.
Control. They said she wouldn't, so they didn't know if she had a weapon. So it's just a mess. So yeah, you do have to have these discussions with your children.
You do. And you have to make them aware of that there is an enemy out there. Every time the police pull you over or every time you have an interaction with the police as a black person, you are at risk of being in front of your enemy. Hopefully, it's not a police officer that wants to demonstrate that he's your enemy, but we all see it's a high probability of that being the case. So if we're not talking to our children do not have the coping mechanisms to deal with these type of intense situations. What they're going to do is what most of us do as black people, me and anyone else, which is become emotional. And that is the trigger point for the police.
Right.
They know that black people are emotional people. So when they arrive on the scene, they are purposely trying to say and do things to you to get your emotions up, right? And then once they get your emotions up, then it's like, oh, that's what we needed. Now we're going to kick your ass. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. So I'm saying we need to have these discussions with our children, and make them understand in this day and age, and it's every day and age really, but we'll just say this day and age for the sake of it being so prevalent on social media, like you have to understand what you're getting yourself into. And I think a lot of us as black people are just scared to still tell our children that there are a group of people out here that are your enemies.
Join us every Monday at 12 noon for Black by Demand radio show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another?
Why would you treat yourself like that? We done come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back everybody to the BBB Radio Show where we are talking entrepreneurship defined.
Word.
We are going over 7 steps to become an entrepreneur. So we just went over number 4, which was find your target group / audience. Okay, so of course with Black by Demand, our target is the Black community. You know what I mean? But it's not just the Black community, it's also other communities who believe in supporting Black businesses. So if you're Black, you're part of our target. If you believe in supporting Black businesses, you are a part of our target. We're trying to reach you. We're trying to put out a message and an education that this is how we can begin to change some things in our community. The more we support our own businesses, the stronger those businesses become. They can begin to hire our own people. And what better way to have the younger generation come home from college with these degrees than to bring that skill set to a Black company? Because at the end of the day, in the words of Dr. Claude Anderson, I quote, "It is a crime to have these children come home from college with these degrees and send them into someone else's neighborhood begging for a job."
Serious.
We should have businesses ready for them. Right? When they come home and they can say, I'm coming to work for Black by Demand. I got a master's degree in chopping it up. And I'm coming to talk at BBD. So, any other focus with your target market and your audience? You said teenagers to, 20s. What about more specific areas like weddings, proms, you know what I mean?
Special events.
Special events,
Yeah.
right. And again, maybe you should include, getting a hold of some of the, like we were talking about, people who have, been through trauma in their life.
Yeah, that's definitely a good
That may be
one.
something to get into, because your field, it's kind of got a broad range.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go from that even into like funeral services. Like, I'm just saying, they make people look good for the funeral, right?
Get you right on your
Somebody's
last
getting
day.
paid to do that. Put you in the room with the corpse and be like, we'll be back in an hour. You're like, hold up. Don't shut that door. Don't shut that door. Don't leave me in here now.
That's like guaranteed.
Right? All right, so number 5. Number 5 is networking. While networking is important in all fields, it may be the most important for entrepreneurs. Networking is how you meet other people that might have skills you can use in your business. You can also find potential investors through networking to help you get your business model off the ground. Your networks can also support your business once you open, helping to send new customers your way. Now that one is very, very important. That is several keys to having success as an entrepreneur. I definitely would say that that's one of them.
I feel like
Networking.
that's the toughest one for me.
It's the toughest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because despite what you may see, like when I meet people, like I'm usually like quiet and reserved.
Little shy, little
Until I
reserved.
get to know you, do I give you the full?
Then you break out with the hot girl summer, huh? I'm breaking out.
Yeah, so that one's tough for me. I get scared and
Yeah.
I'm nervous and
Yeah, networking can be challenging. Networking, you kind of got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
If you're fortunate enough, you can be a part of a networking group. I'm a member of Black Professional Men Inc., BPM, and our core is the preservation of the young African American male, but it's also a great networking opportunity of Black professionals.
Right.
So not only are you doing something important for the community, but you are also within a network that can help you reach your goals as you help them reach their goals.
Right.
So, and it's nice to be a part of things like that, you know what I mean? Or even if it's just a part of a group of people who believe in networking, you know what I mean? Like within Harford County, I have a Black by Demand network, you know what I mean? Just a group of people who are in the BBD network where we try to work with each other and support each other, so forth and so on. And all this comes from getting out there, getting out there. And the easy way to get out there to help build your network is to attend events. Events like Eat Black Baltimore, September 28th, right? At the Startup Nest. So not only will this be an opportunity for you to eat some great food from great black chefs, if you are a cook or a chef, it's an opportunity for you to showcase your skills and talent, right? You can become a vendor, you rent a booth, right? And then you also build your network.
But you know what else I also noticed, piggybacking off of that event, I don't know how many people utilize the events tab on Facebook.
Right.
But you can find a lot going on.
A lot going on.
And a lot of it is specific to certain areas like tech.
Right.
Food.
Absolutely.
Beauty. You
Absolutely.
can find stuff that's going on.
You get a bell for that.
Even if you're looking for something to do on a Friday night, you're scrolling and you see everything that's going on.
Right.
Not until I looked at that tab, I was like, oh, there's a lot
this is actually
going
useful,
on.
right? This is
Right.
useful. So imagine before social media, being an entrepreneur, which I was before social media, and then you trying to build a network.
Right.
Like you literally have to know somebody who knows somebody that can plug you in.
Yeah.
Whereas today we're in the information age, like you said, Facebook's got an event tab where you can see all the events. You can literally plug yourself in to different things without anyone else's permission. All you got to do is buy a ticket. You got your goals.
You just RSVP. And
RSVP, and you go there with your goals.
Yeah.
You go there with your mission to meet some people that can help you in your field. So very, very good point.
Yeah.
She gets another bell on that. That was good. Use your Facebook events tab. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. So you meet people. So that's always a great way to start a network. Communication. You got to meet people. Conversations. I've been around professionals before who are very, very successful. Right. We talking millionaires. And I would say, how did you end up building such a vast network? And often the answer would be conversations.
Yeah.
Conversations. I start conversations with people. That's what it's all about. So I kind of try to follow in that footstep when I'm out and about. Start conversations with people, and I've met some really, really good people. And this is how I met the members of BPM. It was through conversations. I went to one of their events, and now I'm a proud member. You get what I mean? So conversations. So again, this would be a great example to get that started. And again, congratulations to Miss D. Brown for winning 2 tickets to the Eat Black Baltimore September 28th at the Startup Nest, sponsored by Black Professional Men. And for anyone else who wants tickets, you can reach out to me through social media. You can inbox me, or you can email me at blackbydemand, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. That's blackbydemand4u at gmail. This is an event that you don't want to miss. You get to eat some good food. And if you can cook, if you are a chef, if you know someone who's a chef, please let them know about Eat Black Baltimore. I will also have this event posted on my social media outlets. It's a great opportunity. You know what I mean? It's a really, really great opportunity. And I think sometimes we get paralyzed with fear, we don't take advantage of the opportunity. Like I personally know some people who cook, right? That happens to you? Yeah, see, so do you have a plan to conquer that?
No.
Okay.
I kind of I obsess over it, and then I get to doing it, and I work it out myself. But initially going into anything brand new for me, it's always a very anxiety filled type of thing.
Okay, so you deal with a little bit of anxiety. All right, so what could we do for anxiety?
Especially when it comes to that networking business. That's you don't understand. That scares me.
So tell me what it is that scares you. Do you feel like you're in the presence of people that are more professional than you, or they know more than you?
There's that, and then you're sizing your own self up. You're your own worst enemy, and just I guess not knowing what to expect. It's kind of like your mind just goes haywire, and it's like I don't know.
So you don't feel the proper amount of confidence to stand in front of people.
That too.
My suggestion would be first to just make sure you know your business, know your product, you know what I mean, what it is or your service, right? Because that's going to be one of the main things that people are going to ask you, so, tell me what you do, or, tell me about Glam by Sam, you got to be ready to, shoot your shot, right? Shoot your shot, up to the free throw for the game-winning shot.
Okay, see, that's too much already.
You can do it. You can do it. We can even help you practice. We can help you practice. I'll give you some good, drilling. I'll pretend I'm someone else. Like, so what do you do? Tell me about Glam by Sam. How can I get in touch with you? And how do I know my child's face is not going to break out with bumps after you use this makeup on her? So you got to be ready for that, right? Because people will come at you with those answers.
See?
You want to be able to be like, well, this particular brand that I use is very hypoallergenic. It's very sensitive to the skin. I've used it on children as young as 7 years old.
I'm gonna just refer everybody back to you because you got the answer.
You just got to go at them with your spiel. Let them know this is safe. It's all good. It's safe. So networking. How else can we network? What's another way that you could get into networking? You got events. You got conversations. Here's something I like to point out. Right? Everybody has a network. You just simply don't know it. You won't know it until you start having conversations with family and friends and coworkers. Like, you'd be surprised who might know somebody else.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Those conversations go distances. I remember having a conversation with my mother about networking. And, she wasn't really familiar with it. Like, I don't really know what networking is. You know what I mean? What is that? And I'm like, Mom, you are who first introduced me into a network. And she's like, how? I said, okay, remember back in the day when your car would, have problems, and you'd send me and say, go down there and get Jeff. Tell him, come look at the car. I don't know what's going on. So Jeff comes up there, he looks at the car. Now my uncle, her brother, is out there with Jeff. So now we got two people. So Jeff and Chuck looking at the car, right? Jeff figures out what's going on. I think it's a timing belt. But I'm not that experienced with timing belt, and I know that Miles is. Miles gets off at 3:30. When he gets off, I'll go down there and talk to Miles, tell him come on up there. Miles comes up there and looks at it, and he says, yeah, it's the timing belt, right? We can get this fixed. I know how to do it, but I don't have the timing belt gun that I need to time the belt spinning around, but Charlie got it. Charlie gets off at 5:30, right? So Charlie gets off at 5:30, Miles gets the tool from him, and now all of them are at the car fixing it. My mother's looking at me, she's like, wow, you right. I said, see, that was your network.
You would never think that.
Yeah, she just never knew that, but that was her network, so that's how I explained it to her. So we all have a network. So talking to your family and your friends, you never know when they might be able to say, you know what, my coworker said that she knows, or she's looking for someone to do her child's makeup for her prom coming up. You know what I mean? You didn't reach through your network. And if, people don't respond well to it, then it also helps to show you who's on your team and who's not. You know what I mean? You can find out some things. So I think everybody has a network. We're just not aware that we have a network. But, we tend to use, at least my experience has been, we tend to use our networks in crisis. My mother would use it when the car was having problems. She didn't know it, but she was using her network, right? We use our network if we get stranded somewhere, right? You're going to find a way to get home. You're going to start calling people.
You need a babysitter.
Right, reaching out if you need a babysitter, right? You're digging through your network. So we do have networks. So networks is very important. So the next is finding consumers. So consumers want products, but they don't always know which to pick. Your job as an entrepreneur is to convince people that whatever you're selling is the best option available. You'll have to find out what it takes, what makes your product unique, and then sell it off at its value. Okay, so you got to get consumers. You got to be able to convince someone that dealing with you, your product, your service is better than taking a chance with someone else. If it comes to buying a Black by the Man t-shirt, I try to make people understand you're wearing a t-shirt that was designed by your people, for your people, created for you. It's the old FUBU type thing going on, for us, by us, right? So when you wear this shirt, you can feel proud knowing that the people who made it won't feel a certain way if they actually saw you with their shirt on, right? And then it has meaning behind it, right? So we are the #1 brand for group economics. I want to say that again. Black by Demand is the #1 brand for group economics. We are the only brand that is responsible for saying it's strictly about group economics and convincing Black people to spend more money with Black businesses. So you kind of find your lane to say, this is why you should use my product. This is why you should use my service. So you could do the same thing with Glam by Sam.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You got to make them understand why they should get it done by you. You could just be like, look at me. Okay? You want to look like me? Look at me. You want to look like this? So you got to be able to convince your consumers of what you are trying to give them through your service or your product, and why they should choose you. I was questioning on that before. I had a young guy. He was like, well, why should I buy a BBD polo versus a Ralph Lauren polo? So I explained to him about how the Black by Demand polo was made by you for you, and it represents your lifestyle. Ralph Lauren, his polo doesn't represent your lifestyle. It represents his lifestyle.
It's even made for you, my guy, but
Right.
shit.
You know, it didn't become hot until we touched it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my way of making him understand. I'm not telling you to take the shirt off your back. I'm just simply educating you that Ralph Lauren created that for the WASP community, which is white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. These are very, very rich people who literally play polo in their backyard. That's why the symbol is a polo, right? A man on a horse playing polo.
Right.
So he did not have you in mind when he made it. But when we made our polo, our Black by Demand polo, with our picture art logo on it, in the continent of Africa, which is the land of the blacks, right? That is for us. And the same way, you know, we wear theirs proud. We don't have no problem with other ethnicities wearing ours proudly,
Right.
because it still shows that they support black businesses. You know what I mean? But group economics is reserved for us specifically. So these are some of the things that I go over. You know what I mean? So you can find your lane with Glam by Sam. You know what's going to set your, you know, your artistry apart from everyone else. And don't be afraid to charge. You know, that's a whole nother conversation. But you know, one of the things within black businesses, a lot of us are scared to charge the proper amount of money because the black community has a reputation for wanting to spend lots of money with other races, but none with their own, right? So they're willing to give somebody $1,200 for a bag, a Louis bag. But then you say, I'll do your makeup for $120. And it's like, $120? You know, like, really? You know, like you would spend that with another, you know, brand or whatever.
Well,
you know, no big deal.
The price that you charge for your stuff shows
Copy.
the confidence in yourself.
It's a testament to your work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a testament to your work. In the barber field, my haircut started $30. A lot of people don't do that. They're
You
scared.
expensive, my
That's
guy.
right. I'm expensive.
Let me tell you,
I'm a master
this
barber.
ain't cheap.
You know? I'm a master barber. So yeah, I make them pay for what I'm bringing to the table. So you got to do the same thing. And ironically enough, within the black community, a lot of times we find more value in things that cost more money.
But you know what? Charging what you charge and paying that price, I wouldn't go nowhere else because I
Right.
know what I'm gonna get for the price that I pay.
Absolutely, and I offer up the proper service. I do appointments only, so you come in, you get right in the chair. I have a politically correct conversation. I listen to them. You know what I'm saying? I give them a bomb ass haircut, right?
It's like a therapy session.
Yeah, it's a therapy session. You know, I've had guys get in my chair before, and I'm like, "Hey, brother, how you doing?" They be like, "Man, I caught my wife cheating." I'm like, "All right, let me let me put the cape on you. You know,
Right.
let's get into it, right?" It's a little therapy session.
Work it out.
That's right, work it out. And more importantly, they have to pay for your time.
Yeah.
So when you're charging, it's not just the skill set you bring to the table, but it's also the time that it takes you to do it. The time it took you to travel to that person, so forth and so on. But anyway, we are up on break. Stay with us. It's the Black by Demand Radio Show. We will be back and finalize this show. Stay with us. Absolutely.
You use Tearless Baby Shampoo because it's gentle on your baby's eyes. You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You always test the bathwater to make sure it's not too hot. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You make sure she wears a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You put on his sunscreen, even when he's embarrassed his friends will see. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Is your child facing the right way in the car seat? Is the seat too big or too small? How do you know when it's time to move your child into the next type of seat? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. That's safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Having trouble finding Connor's middle school? Would you like directions?
No, why is Connor having trouble focusing in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with him over homework.
home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, I need help. He's very smart, but his mind wanders. He's disorganized.
I think I understand.
Oh, good.
Finding best potatoes for French fries.
No!
Russet, fingerling, Yukon Gold.
Why don't you understand me?
Sorry, I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
For the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues, this is what life can feel like. Explore understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues, designed to help your child thrive in school.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the last segment of the Black by the Man radio show. For those who missed it, today's show was about entrepreneurship defined, and we were going over the 7 steps to getting started as an entrepreneur. So we're on number 7. Number 7 is market. You should be focused on marketing before, during, and after you start your business. You may have the best restaurant in the city, but nobody will visit if they don't know it exists. Marketing is tricky, but if you should be able to focus on your marketing. But if you focus on your marketing, you should be able to make your efforts towards your target audience. For example, millennials may be more likely to see an ad on social media than on billboards downtown. So social media is a good step for marketing. It's an awesome step for marketing. Like, it saves you so much money. And like it said, millennials, you know, if that's part of your target, which yours is, so is mine, they're not looking at billboards. You know, scrolling, right? Facebook scrolling, straight up. So marketing, how do you feel about marketing? You feel it's been pretty easy, or you got to work a little harder at it?
I have to work a little harder just because, for me personally, my content comes from me, and to do makeup is not a 5-minute job.
Right.
You got to have the time. So
absolutely,
I got to figure that out a little bit and work it out.
Okay.
To increase my content.
Got you. Okay, well that's what's up. Marketing was number 7. So of course marketing is, you know, it's key. Like, you know, companies literally spend billions of dollars on marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you take somebody like McDonald's who makes billions, right? They spend like high millions on marketing, you know what I mean?
Okay, so what was Popeye's marketing? Because how did we get there?
The ghetto. That was Popeye's marketing. Chicken.
I think now their marketing is the fact that it's going so viral that they don't have to pay for
Popeye's marketing has always been for it to be a white-owned business with a black spokesperson that will make the black community believe it's something black-owned, which it's not, right? And then target what black people really, really love. Chicken. Everybody targets it. I mean, come on, Rural Farm sells chicken, right? Everybody sells chicken. The grocery stores got fried chicken in their hot bars. They're putting chicken all over the place. They doing that for black people, you know, because they know we gonna buy that chicken up. You know, they doing it for black people. So anyway, yeah, they marketed chicken. You know, come get our super chicken sandwich, you know, with cancer molecules in it. I don't know, but anyway, so. That's going to do it for the show. So we're going to recap the 7 like we did the motivators. So the 7 steps is, number 1, find the right business for you. Number 2, determine if you should get an education. Number 3, plan your business. Number 4, find your target group or audience. Number 5 is networking. Number 6 is consumers. And number 7 is the market. Find out what part of the market you're going to shoot for. So that's going to wrap it up for today's show. Hope everybody learned something today. Lord knows we did, and I hope it sets the ones who chose to be entrepreneurs steady on their path and helps you realize that you're doing the right thing. Keep moving forward. And I just want to thank everybody. Make sure you go to blackbytheman.com and check out our apparel. Become one of our crowdfunders and one of our patrons at patreon.com/brothermikebdd. And don't forget about Eat Black Baltimore, September 28th. You can buy a ticket, $20 retail. Congratulations again to Miss D. Brown for winning her 2 tickets. And if you are a cook or a chef, we'd love for you to be a vendor at this event. It can begin to open up your networking.
Does it have to be a Baltimore, like?
No, you can
restaurant?
come from anywhere.
Okay.
Nope. You can be from Philly, Florida, Cali. If you can cook, you'd like to be a vendor here, get in contact with us. You can check it out at Black Professional Men Inc. on Facebook, or you can contact me at blackbydemand, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. That's blackbydemand4u@gmail. So that's going to wrap it up. How'd you enjoy today's show?
I had fun.
Right. You feeling pumped up about Glam by Sam? That's right. Let's keep it moving. Secure the bag.
Right. Secure the bag.
No more hot girl summer. Let's
come for hot girl summer one more time.
On behalf of the Black by Demand team, put my gazelles on.
Oh shit.
Yeah, on behalf of the Black by Demand team and my co-host today, the lovely, I'm about to call you Miss Janice, the awesome Samantha Glenn by Sam. Miss Janice will be back with us though. Stay tuned. She will be back. She's working out her schedule now. So yes, on behalf of the Black by Demand team and my awesome teammate here, Samantha Glenn by Sam, we'll be back next week with another show. I'm your host, Brother Mike. I'll catch you on the flip side. It's the black side. Peace. That's what's up.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist